But he says, no, you do not need to have these abilities, not as long as I'm around. But he says, no, I cannot give you these abilities. He could if he wanted to, but he says, no. He says, you don't need them. And I tried everything to convince him to switch him over, let us merge. I even tried to convince him, okay, you take over totally. Let me see. Let me, whatever. Let me try and experience what it is like when you use these abilities. And he just won't let me have anything to do with them other than witnessing.
So you can watch but not experience.
Right.
Did you talk about different, projects or missions that he went on? Did you talk about that with him?
I talked to him extensively about that, and he says, I will only show you what I feel you're capable of handling. He says, there's lots and lots and lots that we have dealt with that I still will not let you see.
I mean, he almost has almost an angelic sense about him.
As far as my well-being, yeah.
Yeah.
For something that is supposed to be so emotionless, that's supposed to not have any feelings or regards to anything, he protects me from a lot of that.
But it's almost as if he's extremely highly evolved.
Oh, he is.
Just mentally, in a sense, Wow. And so today, Larry, David rarely comes up, does he?
Right.
Do you think you're still actually involved in any of these missions, however?
Sometimes I know I am.
But if David can't, if he has his own sense of being now and cannot be controlled,
he's doing it.
He's killed his maker. Oh, you're saying that he has decided that this mission is his mission now.
Yeah.
When do you think David actually, what year was it that he became his own person?
65.
Oh, 65.
Oh, you mean, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that he was no longer under the influence of the secret government.
A couple years ago.
That's all?
Yeah.
So
that's when he was finally able to turn rogue.
And that's when he killed his maker, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he also went, trying to think how that went. He's confronted several of the bigwigs, especially military personnel. And everywhere he goes that he lets me see, and even the ones that I was involved in that I remember, the people within the secret government structure that ran us that are high up in the ladder are about as arrogant as you can get. They feel that, how should I say it? Every human being is below them and is nothing but dirt.
But they are humans themselves.
Sure. They're just like you and I, but they have reached such a realm within these circles that they try and, I guess the only word I can come up with is they try and think that they're gods.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where it come about, where they didn't feel any of us needed paid for our work, that they wanted to keep us low lives. However you want to look at it, I think that was part of it, that if they could traumatize us and keep us down, that they could control us better.
Now, are any of these people that we would recognize?
Sure.
I mean, names like
Sure.
Rockefellers or
Sure.
People like that?
All those kind of people's involved in it.
Kissinger.
Yep. McNamara, Kissinger, several of the presidents, high people within the CIA structure, FBI structure, NSA structure, FEMA structure, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus big business. It would also probably scare the hell out of you to know how many pastors and preachers and all these kind of people's involved secretly. The list just goes on and on and on and on.
But like, for instance, William Colby, he was the director of the CIA for years and years and years.
Yeah.
You would think he'd be at the top of the of the food chain, and he was taken out.
I don't know.
Presumably.
Was he the one that they claimed died in the river?
Yeah.
He was murdered.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All the
I'd
evidence.
Stop and think there a minute, but yeah, he was murdered. He was one taken out for whatever reason.
Right, but you would think, again, here he is, Bill Colby, top of the food chain. How could he be taken out? It
doesn't make any difference where you rank within the loops. If you've crossed over, they will take you out. If you've done something out of their realm that they don't want done, you will be eliminated real quick.
So who defines?
And they all know this.
So they define their own rules, which they have to abide by.
You can't think like a normal human being is supposed to think to figure out any of this stuff that they're doing. You have to think in the abstract. You have to think almost in the negative. And you have to, which we can't do, take away your feelings and emotions for another human being, because they have no feelings or emotions or regards to another human being, and especially females. Even females within the system are still to them a second, third-class citizen. No matter how high up they go, they're still only allowed to go so high. But to them, a female is only here for one thing: sex.
And keep the species going.
That's it. And they don't care of the age. Age doesn't mean anything to them either.
Wow. Now, do you recall meeting some of these people?
Not any prominent ones, no. So I'm not even going to attempt saying anything about it other than no. In all my memories, I have nothing there of ever meeting any of the what we would call the prominent people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they may have been around. I just may not have ever seen them.
So then how do you know about their general attitude if you've never met any of them?
Knowledge.
From?
Being within the loops and all the places I've been, hearing the people talk, all this stuff. I just know they are vicious people. But on the outside, to the public, they're the nicest, kindest, gentlest people you'd ever want to run into.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of the way Clinton is, you know.
Oh, yeah.
On the outside, he's warm, gregarious, outgoing.
Clinton's involved. To what extent, I do not know.
Mm-hmm.
And he can get away with anything he wants as long as he obeys their commands.
Well, I guess he has. That's why he's still
right.
around,
That's why he's had this veil of protection around him.
Right. How about some of our other presidents, like Johnson, Nixon, Carter?
I really don't know.
You don't know?
No. All I've heard was about one of them, that he wanted absolutely nothing to do with this. They tried to tell him one time, he said, shut up. Don't tell me. I don't want to know it. I don't want to be involved. Leave me alone with it. And that was only from someone telling me that's what he said. Whether he did or not, I do not know.
Was that Kennedy?
No, that was Johnson.
Oh, Johnson didn't want anything to do.
Yeah.
See, that would be odd, because Johnson's the one that escalated the war in Vietnam.
Right, but he was following orders there to a certain extent. He just didn't want to know about all this other stuff going on with the aliens, you know, and the whole bit of all that, and the abductions and whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want any part of that.
Why not?
I guess it just scared the hell out of him too much.
Well, he shouldn't be president then, you know. if you can't handle the fire, what is it? Get out of the pot or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, there's an old saying for that.
Yeah. Again, whether he said that or not, I do not know.
Okay.
But as far as Carter, I think Carter was too nice to even ever be involved in something like this. That's my own speculation.
Mm-hmm.
Nixon, hell, he was just a rogue president out there for his own self, I think.
So maybe what you're saying is that it really doesn't matter who's the president.
No.
Yeah, these guys are just going to do what they want to do anyhow.
Oh, our government is just there for looks. Mm-hmm. They do what they want, but the secret government does everything. They really control the masses, the people, everything, and do with us what they want.
The secret government. Boy,
I keep calling them the secret government.
Yeah.
That's the name I've come up with.
We have, well, it's not that's a very common name. If you listen to the radio programs and read a lot of the books, that phrase is used quite often, the secret government.
Yeah, that I've got. If I can find it, I'll get it out, and in one of our tapes, I will read to you what I wrote about how the chain of command works.
Okay.